I think it's fantastic. I think you see the science behind even identifying the right product. I mean, the process of selecting, keeping the consumer in the first. As you told, we can always fool the customer once, but again, customer acquisition is the most, and then the word of mouth of how it can damage your brand. So I think you've done a phenomenal job in the product side. You have a great distribution. Now let's come to the pricing part. I think it's a premium luxury drink. So how are you? I mean, again, you are the only brand in that category, or very few brands in that category, and then you do have a range of brands within that category. So how's the pricing strategy? Did you find that as a challenge entering this market? Because most of the products are exported from outside. So how you do that?
I think, as long as you have confidence and strength in the brands that you are importing, price is secondary. We always focus on quality, not just the quality of the product, quality of our personnel, that if you are a B2B client of ours, you want to work with experienced professionals. You want to work with people who will deliver. And price is just one of those elements that comes with it. If you are our end consumer who shops online, okay, the product may seem a little bit expensive to you the first time, but what you realize once you buy it and you try it, that the quality warrants the price tag. We deliver on time, we deliver same day, we have impeccable customer service. All those things for business is costly, so you have to calculate that. And it's, we're not a greedy distributor who add a 70% margin or 50% margin. We don't do that. But the product itself demands a really high price tag. So give you an example. If you look at the non-alcoholic beers that have been in the market for a long time here and what they are retailing already on the shop shelf, our buying price is higher than that from our suppliers. So straight away, even before we look at any tax implications, any shipping implications, any margins for us or the retailer, we are already a lot more expensive than the product in the market.
I think, but again, the confidence of the product, and as you told about, it's not only the product, the pricing of the competition compared to the competition, all the value what you're delivering to the customer. As soon as the customer find value for the product, price doesn't matter.
Yes.
So now your brand is here. I think it's more than close to 2 years. Your brand is existing.
2.5.
2.5 years, and you're getting into retailing, physical stores, you're online. So what is the promotion strategy? And I know that there are quite a lot of people from Europe maybe knowing some of the brands, but there are around 204 nationalities in UAE. So what is your promotion or communication strategies to reach a wider audience? Because the more the audience, the better the reach, it can help your profitability as well as the brand positioning. So what is your strategy for communication or reaching to the right target customer?
I think we try to be as pragmatic as we can. And one of the beautiful things about being a startup, you are not a huge machine that cannot pivot. For big companies who have a lot of customers, staff, it's really difficult to make decisions on the fly. For a startup, you can, and you can implement them on the fly, and you can make the right decisions. So, give you an example in terms of promotional. We have been working in retail for almost 18 months, and we have fantastic relationships with our retail partners. We are in 4 major supermarket chains at the moment. And we did a customer analysis. We did a customer analysis per retailer in September, and we realized that we feel there's a bigger opportunity there. We're doing okay, it's covering its cost, and we're selling good amount of stock, and we're reaching the consumer, but we feel that we could do more, right? So how do we do that? And after discussions with the team, we decided to roll out a really expensive, a really elaborate sampling program in Ras Al Khaimah, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai over the next 4 weeks, and really reach the consumers we normally wouldn't reach. Maybe due to their age demographic. They don't shop online, they're not on social media. So our digital marketing strategy that we invest an awful lot of money will never reach them. We will never speak to them. But they do go to their local supermarket to pick up milk and butter and everything else. So this is our opportunity to grab them by sampling, and also, again, maybe due to people's habits, they're not looking at other brands they're not familiar with. So we need to speak to them. We need to reach out to them and say, hey, have you tried this? Have you heard of Drink Dry? Have you heard about premium non-alcoholic drinks? So this is one of the examples that we were able to. So from September to end of October, we were executing. It took us 4 weeks. We spoke to our brands, we got the investment, we invested together, we got our retailers on board who are fantastic partners, and there was no hesitation from their side. And we are now in week 2 out of 4 doing an nationwide sampling program. So if you go into any of our retail partners between 4 and 10, 3 days at the weekend, there are beautiful promoters who are telling you about the products really excitedly. That's an amazing way to reach the consumer,
I think, especially depending on the product category, something to do with food and drink. You need to taste it to know how good it is. The packaging will not necessarily convey the quality of the food.
And that comes back to the liquid, like I said to you. You know, it's if the consumer is looking on the shelf, okay, the packaging is good. Oh, the price is very expensive. I can't justify that as an impulse purchase. But if you don't do that, you start with, hey, why don't you try? And they do try it. That's it. This is already they are 5 steps closer to making that purchase.
I think why I ask this question is that there's a lot of notion that, just spend it on social media and people will automatically buy. It doesn't work that way. So you really need to understand what sort of customer, what sort of product you're selling, and what is that trigger which will make the customer buy that product. And based on that, you do your promotional strategy, not the other way around. The final part of the question, I think you gave me a complete idea about the 4 P's of marketing, because the channel is basically oriented toward the students to understand, how well you are done in these 4 P's. But now again, 2.5 years in this market, I'm sure you must be also looking at expansion, growth. That's the reason why you are now getting into more retailers, you're getting into more channel partners or different verticals of businesses. So do you have any expansion plan, or are you only in UAE, or do you have expansion to other GCC countries?
We do.
Okay. So can you just throw a little light on that?
So we launched our e-commerce platform in Kuwait in June this year, 2022. We have found a phenomenal distribution partner in Kuwait. So in the next month or so, all our products will be available in major retailers there, hotels, restaurants, and that's the business model that we have developed here very organically and very reactively to what was happening has proven to be a huge success in other markets for us as well. And it just works. We bring our products, we bring our know-how, we bring our people, and we find partners who have the sheer muscle of distribution. So then, it's a match made in heaven. We know how to sell the products, how to execute it, and they know how to distribute it. So it works for us really well. And then in next month, we are launching in Saudi Arabia. We're launching our e-commerce in Saudi Arabia. We have some great contracts with different hotel groups that we can take from the UAE to Saudi Arabia. But just go back on your question, I think it's important to realize and not to underestimate the power of different marketing strategies when you launch. So when I'm talking about UAE market, where we are 2.5 years old, we've done a lot of learning, we have a good customer base, we know which customer groups we haven't reached yet. We know which customers shop with us. Anybody who is looking for premium non-alcoholic drinks in Dubai probably has heard about Drink Dry. If they haven't heard about us, it means we're not reaching them. And then we can come up with different specifically tailored marketing strategies for those people. Now, when you're going into a brand new market, nobody knows about you. Nobody knows about the category. Nobody knows about the drinks. Nobody knows about Drink Dry. So the world of social media and digital marketing is critical. In the early stages, however much it hurts me as a founder when I see our bills that we spend on social media platforms and digital marketing, there's no way around it. You have got to do it to even reach the low-hanging fruit, And then after that, you start developing different kind of strategies in how you reach the consumers you haven't reached yet. But I think the expansion is exciting for us. We have developed exciting product range. We have a great team here. We have a lot of know-how. And I think a lot of the times when you take a concept from the West particularly, it would be too rash to go into anywhere else in the GCC but Dubai. Dubai is a beautiful combination of both, where both cultures meet, and you can take something from the West, see how it works here, adapt it a little bit, and once you've got the perfect recipe, then you roll it out into wider GCC, because you know that your slightly adapted version is going to work. So yes, there's regional expansion for us. There's expansion in terms of brands. We are always open and on the lookout for new brands who want to enter the market. And I think, at some point we have to look at our own private label products as well. So there's a lot of different plans in place for the next 5 years.
I think, thanks, Erika. I think the last part, whatever we discuss in the expansion, when we teach marketing or strategy about the growth, we always use a theoretical model of ants of metrics, which talk about market penetration, which you are doing through social media and a lot of activities here. You're talking about market expansion by going to Kuwait and Saudi. Then you're talking about product development by getting new brands and on private label. I think that's fantastic that you are using all those the models in the growth. I think it was a fantastic talking to you, to be very honest, because I think it's a great learning for if somebody is listening to this who want to start their business, that what sort of preparations you have done before you starting. The importance of going to a good legal consultant, asking a good mentor in terms of getting into that, and the study what you conducted before identifying the right brands or products to be coming into this market, and your pricing strategy. Then it comes to your, the way to go to the market in terms of starting the own e-commerce and slowly and gradually getting into the retailers, or getting the pull from the retailers rather than you approaching them, they approaching you.
And that is rare.
That is rare. That is very rare in this market where retail is very expensive to get in. And then, when it comes to promotion also, it's not like just spending the money in social media, but identifying where your target customer and, identifying the best way to reach them. And it's fantastic for you to share all this information. And one last question before we wind up this interview is, what will be that one advice which you want to give to quite a lot of people like you? You told me that you had 2 kids. I think you were carrying the 3rd kid while you want to start this. Then, so what will be the advice to those, especially females or who really want to start, or anyone who want to start their entrepreneurial venture? What they should do to just kickstart their dream?
I think it's first to accept the fact that there is never a right time to do it. There's never a perfect time where things will just, seem good for you to do. At the time where I started the business, I had 2 children under 2, and I was expecting my 3rd one. Probably the craziest time for me to start that. But I just knew that it's the right time. And I think the key is be prepared, do your homework, understand very well the market that you're going into, but don't be afraid of learnings. They're not mistakes, they are learnings, If you had 3 days, I could tell you so many mistakes and learnings that we have made, but it only made us better, it only helped us grow. For every learning, there are 10 successes that follow after that. So don't be scared of those early day learnings, and just accept that they will happen and just learn to bounce back. You have to be indestructible. You have to believe in what you are doing to the point where nothing can stop you. I think it's the key message, that don't give up when the times are hard. If you know in your heart and you know commercially that you have done the right decision, you've done your homework, you're going into it open-minded, it will work. Just keep on plowing through.
Thanks a lot, Erika. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.